wheel of seasons turns, my feet still winding down this ever-going road. Whispers on the wind of gods long forgotten, guiding my path. As the days grow longer and the dewdrop sings, I feel the sunlight paint against my skin with the warmth of the color of love. The sunlight envelops me like a cloak woven of promises kept, like the arms of an understanding friend. Even as my heart aches, heavy with memory, weighed by grief, crumbling pillars and roadside cairns, reminders of all we have lost. I hear the oath of a season, the promise that in the end, find a place to finally call home.
Hello, hi, and welcome to the House of Dreams, a place of fantastical worlds, mythic beasts, and wondrous tales. We are a TTRPG actual play creative collective led by queer, BIPOC, and marginalized folks. I'm Okami, and I will be your guide. Today we present A Season's Oath, a Wanderhome actual play series of hope, exploration, and deep magic. A West Marches, hexcrawl, and OSR-inspired folkloric journey of hope, exploration, and deep magic. It is featuring a rotating cast of travelers who weave in and out of the saga. All of them are seeking to understand a magic bestowed upon them by the venerable and forgotten gods of flame, form, dark, and wind. A road that will take them to many forgotten and sacred places all over Haeth. The series will showcase the full rules of Wanderhome by Possum Creek Games, including the seasons, holidays, guest playbooks and natures, seasonal phenomenon, and J Dragon's Patreon homebrew magic rules. We're currently raising funds for Rainbow Railroad, and you can donate via the Tiltify link in the chat or the QR code in the overlay. Please donate if you can. We have several donation incentives that will allow you, the audience, to add more color, magic, and wonder to our journey. For $5, the travelers can gain a token that any may use or save. For $15, you can introduce a new Kith, which is an NPC. A Kith name that has not yet met the travelers on their current journey is introduced to the scene, such as from the backstory of one of the travelers or from the current place they're exploring. If all named Kith have been met, then the group will look for the common animal folk of the place they're visiting and create a new Kith to meet and interact with. For $25, we have two different charity incentives. For $25, the travelers will discover a relic, a special Kith that is an inanimate object that confers the traveler who carries it a supernatural trait, as if they were a Kith themselves. Each relic also has a unique bit of Haeth lore that comes with it. A roll on a special chart will determine what relic is found on the journey. Yes, a die in a diceless game will be very exciting. Or you can choose to donate and confer a magic trait. Traveler will gain a level and a path of magic, either a new path or the next tier and a one they're already gifted with. deepening their connection to the venerable and forgotten gods. We also have a donation goal. So for every $50 we raise, we are going to awaken a folklore. The folklore of the current nature being interacted with is immediately brought into the current scene or in the midst of our emotions and the momentum immediately after. Let us go ahead and introduce our travelers. Please, my travelers, say your name, your pronouns, your character's name, your character's playbook and animal, and their pronouns, and then popcorn it over to another one of your fellow players until we have all gone around the circle. We're going to start with our bridge traveler walking from their journey in chapter 5. Mel, played by Baba Yaga. Whoops, sorry, didn't mean to do your intro for you. Go on ahead.
Well, I don't have to now, other than my pronouns are any, all, and Mel's are she, her. Mel the Maker is a smith and caretaker, red tree squirrel, who is prowled around with her friends, has been hanging out with Lavender for a little bit, and is super excited to be back with her bestie Theo. And I'm gonna popcorn it over to Theo. I'm gonna pop it over to you, Logan.
Thanks. Thank you, Baba Yaga. Yes, I'm Logan, he, him, coming to you from Wurundjeri country in Australia, and I'll be playing Theozander, the Tawny Frogmouth teacher, who uses he, they pronouns, and he's also very excited to be traveling once again with Mel and catch up on everything that's happened since they last spoke. So I'll pop it over to Janie.
Hi, I'm Janie. I'm playing Lavender, the White Swan canvas, she, they pronouns. And Lavender's happy to be here. And
we love Lavender. We love, yes, I am here. We love Lavender. Lavender is wonderful. It is great to have Lavender back, especially, since when last we saw Lavender, it was the end of chapter 4. I believe. And since then, I think, Lavender's gone on a couple of fun and interesting adventures. But today we are here for an all new adventure. So I'm going to ask you all some questions that is going to lead us into our journey. First question, what sort of place did we just travel from?
I'm thinking like maybe in contrast to where we're going, maybe it was somewhere very like still and quiet, like maybe a temple or a monastery or something like that.
Yeah, okay. A still and quiet place.
At a crossroads.
Ooh.
A still and quiet place, but still at a crossroads where people can travel.
Okay, all right. What about you, Lavender? Pun intended, paint us a picture. Crossroads, it's quiet. What else about it? Or at the very least, what about it really impacted Lavender?
I think there was a really old tree that the tree is dead and but it's got another tree coming from it.
Oh.
And you could see it's just growing with the dead tree, but the dead one is full of knots and bark, really, really textured bark. And in contrast, the newer tree is just, smooth and small and flimsy, while the old one is big and strong.
Right.
I think one of the branches is low. Maybe there's a swing on it.
Oh, I love that. At a crossroads? That's so...
Yeah, it's a peaceful crossroads. It's people stop there to figure out which way they're going. Sometimes they'll have a picnic.
Figure out which way they're going, and more than just one meaning of,
Yeah.
you got a
Yeah.
metaphorical and a physical journey.
Yeah, but this has been
love
made a peaceful
this.
place. It's not. I know Crossroads can be deep in superstition, and this one could be too. But it's also peaceful. Maybe there's even a patch of flowers planted nearby. Just somebody made an effort to make this a nice place versus a place where people are creeped out at.
No, I hear you. I hear you on that. Next question. Do we feel our journey has been long? And I know that's a little bit of an odd question because, we've been on this journey for like 6 chapters with many different characters. But this is more of an emotional question at the heart of your character as the 3 of you have been traveling together. Has it felt long or not?
I think for Mel, the time that this group has been traveling together has felt like a blink of an eye, but like reflecting back on when she started traveling, that feels like eons ago. Even though like it's a weird time dilation thing. And she
Right.
chalks up like the fact that time feels like it's moving so fast right now as just being really happy and like just like this is such a good moment. This is such a good group. I'm loving everything. I'm realizing that time is always fleeting.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's similar for Theozander. Like this particular leg has been really sort of fast because it's been so interesting, and he loves the company and the different places that we've traveled to together. But I think in the broader scheme of things, it's felt long in the way that life is long in like a really a way that he's really grateful for. Like, this is part of a longer story. So yeah, I think it's like both at once kind of thing as well for him.
I think for Lavender, it's felt short because there's so many new things. It's just been just really great fun experience.
Like boom, 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 almost like staccato, like,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Lavender's also doing a little bit of time traveling.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that, but
yeah, no, just to clarify, probably not for people if this is your first time, but for those of you, like Baba Yaga, the player of Mel, who is keeping up with every episode, this chapter is going to serve as a little bit of a prelude. We have a mini series of A Season's Oath over on the Roll for Felicity channel. Where Lavender is having her debut over in the county of Roseshire. And this chapter is going to serve as a little bit of a prelude. Actually, it is an actual prelude, an actual prequel that is going to sort of fill in, the gaps for what Kamal and Lavender's journey was like before they arrived. So if Kamal seems a little more jovial, a little more with maybe perhaps a little less je ne sais quoi than he was in that series, the reason why is because Kamal hasn't had to face his family yet. And which kind of spins us around to our final question, which is there somewhere we hope to go?
I think Lavender hopes to go to a party because this is Lavender.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of like a little setup for like the future that's coming up. Yeah, a party. I think okay. All right. So Lavender is like, I want a celebration. I want to go to a party. How about Mel? Where do you hope to go?
Being back with Theozander, Mel wants to go where Theo can shine. Like that's just is total support friends. Like my life's great right now. Let's improve your life, and I'm gonna help you. Like, what are those friends?
I love this. I love this so much.
And Yeah, for that, I think, yeah, then for Theo, that's like somewhere where there's, kids excited to learn, and maybe excited to learn in a way, like in an atypical way, in the way that like Theo likes to learn, which is less mainstream. Yeah, so I think he's just looking forward to hanging out with a bunch of kids again.
Well, I think that Theozander, in a very, very big way, is going to get their wish. Because today we are going to be traveling to Greenhollow Orphanage. But as you take your first few steps through the Viridian Marches to this place, I have another question for you. And that question we are going to ask, and then we're going to answer silently in our heads. Where is my home? And with that, begin our journey. Greenhollow Orphanage. The ancient forest of Greenhollow serves as the location of a safe space for children of all ages seeking a place to call home. The orphanage is located inside a massive hollow tree, rising 3 stories high and surrounded by soft green moss that flowers with beautiful sunset pink blooms every bright. The caretakers of the orphanage and the small and forgotten gods of the forest they pay homage to have been offering care for children who lost their parents to the hardships of the war for years now. Even before the war broke, the great tree served as a place for children to find refuge, a safe place to grow up before facing the complexities of life as an adult. The natures of Greenhollow is that it is a nursery, a place where the young and vulnerable are cared for. It is a refuge, a place where travelers can seek safety from dangerous forces. And it is a wilderness, a place that holds nature close to its heart, closer than any mortal that dwells within. The aesthetics of this place are the nervous keeper who is overwhelmed by responsibility, the restless young, markings of safety, plenty of extra beds, trees older than any empire, and something bigger than you've ever imagined. I want to invite my travelers to participate and enjoy these place moves, which I, the guide, will also be using. This place can always describe what is fragile and young, reveal what threatens the safety of the innocent, give someone a token when they stop to care for the vulnerable, describe the precautions taken by those dwelling here, remind everyone of what looms beyond, ask what worries you. They get a token if they lay bare their heart. Describe something massive, sublime, and uncaring. Show the challenges caused by living with nature. And say, get out of the way, and give everyone who does a token. Describe what enormous thundering force nearly strikes them down. The folklores for this place are the flower mouse and the secret garden, the harvestman's patience, and the forest spirits and their mockery. Common animal folk that are typically seen here are squirrels, foxes, bobcats, and hawks. The small and forgotten gods that reside in this place are leaf folk, radiant fireflies, and the voices of the trees. The time of year, as you all arrive in Greenhollow, It is the season of Bright, and it is the month of Bloom Meadow, which is the first month of Bright, where all the flowers bloom and pollen fills the air. Aesthetics of Bloom Meadow and Greenhollow Orphanage are time to relax, sunny skies, and good cheer. Signs of the month: bright yellow and white flowers, in addition, of course, to the pink ones mentioned before. Flower crowns, baskets of ripe fruit, and kids making flower chains. Now, I have a question for our phenomenon. Do you have any grudges? Mel, Lavender, Theozander.
I think Theo does have one grudge. I was gonna say he has two. He has one against maybe like a teacher at the university that he left, and I think he has like a little self grudge about the whole fish demon thing.
The Damon situation?
That he tries not to think about.
Oh, right. The whole catfish, your little catfish Damon problem may or may not come up this chapter. How about you, Mel? Are you carrying any grudges?
Yes. Many.
Okay. Many? Do we want to talk about it just a little bit? For those on the journey with us.
Yeah, everybody would know that Mel has a lot of grudges for basically everybody that she knew back home, including her family. Since getting the letter basically saying like, hey, we love you. That's lessened.
Okay, so it's lessened.
But it's still there because like there still is, unresolved things. Things need to be said. So like I think she's actually struggling with that right now. With like, how do you forgive others? How do you forgive yourself?
Yeah. Volashku's wishes are like a double-edged sword, right? Because you always get what you want, but the weight of what you asked for is not something that Volashku wipes away, right? There is no Volashku was like, yes, your family, turns around and everything's great. But it's a now what moment. Like, he doesn't erase trauma. He erases circumstance, which is,
Yeah, it is a whole thing. You can say you're sorry, but actual steps to reconciliation are more than just words.
Yeah. Lavender, how about you? Are you carrying any grudges at this point in your journey? I'm being very specific.
This is hard to think of because my brain has to do some backflips. I think so.
Against who?
I think, we said at this point.
Yeah, at this point.
I can think of two grudges that Lavender might have, even if she doesn't know that she has them.
Right. Do you think maybe the missed opportunity?
Yeah. That could be it. What were you thinking of, Mel?
The missed opportunity and still lingering, like, you controlled me and kept me away from the world, and this is what the world is? Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, because the world is nice. This is what Lavender seemed, a really nice world.
It is. It is.
And not a war-torn.
Nice. It's a little sad, or a lot sad, but it's nice.
Yeah, there's not a war-torn nightmare that Lavender was imagining.
There's no blood. There's no gold. There's just sad people and beautiful landscapes.
Yeah. No, I love that. All right, so 0 flowers. This Blue Meadow, which is fine. It's all good. That is a next arc issue. But thank you so much for answering those questions. Knowing that, the first thing that hits you as you're making your way through the forest, because the forest of Greenhollow is a region of the Viridian Marches. So you're essentially have been traveling through various different footpaths and things. have arrived in Greenhollow, and you are immediately assaulted with just a wave of fragrant flower smells. Like the breeze goes by, the sky is sunny and shining above you. You hear the rustling of the leaves as you're on this, very well tracked hunter's path that is occasionally the dirt is adorned with like a small, tiny child's footprint. And just like the smell is just like, Lavender, how does the smell of these like bloom meadow flowers like affecting you?
I don't think they're like flowers to make you sleepy. They're more bright fragrances, kind of fruity or citrusy.
Ooh, okay. All right.
Kind of energetic, I guess. So just because of the notes of fragrance. So Lavender's happy, not skipping, but probably just occasionally sketching, taking a stop to smell the roses.
Are you going to tiptoe through the tulips as well?
Yes, tiptoeing through the tulips too.
All of the flowering references, tiptoe through the tulips. Theozander, how does the bark feel as your fingers absentmindedly occasionally brush against the bark of these trees as you make your way deeper into the heart of this forest?
Yeah, I think it's Theo's walking along and, touching trees and looking at moss and things. And, he's still trying to figure out how, plants. He wants to learn more about plants. I think the thing that really catches him is that the bark feels really alive. And like you can almost feel like not the heartbeat of the heart, but how trees take water up and down. And so it almost feels like a pulse, and it just feels like very strong and alive here. Like, he's not quite sure if it's his pulse or it's the tree's pulse, like what it exactly is that he's feeling, but it just feels, the trees feel very alive here, very, and very like aware, like they know what's going on. They're kind of watching everything. And they feel very responsive.
I'm going to make a place move, and I'm going to describe the precautions taken by those dwelling here. And as you make your way on the path, you notice there is a string between two trees that goes across the path that you almost missed, the three of you, because it is right. The string is strung up right outside of eye line. Like where you would have to like look down, and you see a bunch of like cans, the kind of cans that you would like put food that have been tied, strung up decoratively, as you spot like what looks to be like an early warning system for someone on the path if someone wasn't paying attention. You have a feeling that this is either going to be for someone that like isn't paying attention or for like a large bug. And you see that like in the way of the path. Mel, how is it that you clearly spot this? What is it that you're reaching down to look closely at that this catches in your peripheral vision?
Yeah, so Mel is super jazzed, like, because this is trees and everything. Like, this reminds her of home. And as she's walking, and the good parts of home, as she's walking, she sees a rock that looks like an acorn.
Oh,
just like,
okay.
One of those, like, and she's just like, oh, that looks like an acorn. Look, it has a little nub on top. And bends over to picks it and sees the stringo can.
Yeah. Your traveling companions, Luther and Kamal, don't seem to have noticed this. They're kind of hanging back, and Luther is like looking up and around as if, keeping an eye out for flying threats, or at least that's what he told you all before you entered the edge of the forest. And Kamal is like legitimately has a little notebook out and is looking at all of the various blooming flowers and plants, and is taking like notes on their various properties and like sketching them with this, kind of blank book that he has that is like half filled with all kinds of notes. I will say, Theozander, for you in particular, all of his notes are. I will not tell you what your character's opinion is, but I will say that all of his notes about these various flowers and herbs are all about divination properties. This can be used to make a tea that gives you a vision. This can be used to induce aromatherapy that will put you in a trance that will give you a vision. Like, all of them are all like, how can I use this plant to like tell someone their future or possible future? Like, none of them, there's no like, he doesn't seem particularly interested in any of the like medicinal or food properties, like in and so much as this will not poison them, and if it does, this will not poison them. And he has like a little liner where he says like, and by poison I mean it will not kill them.
I think Theo's
are worth it for the visions.
Yeah, I think Theozander is still really interested in Kamal's notes, and like it's just another way of knowing plants, and like not exactly what he's hoping to learn, but still interesting. So I think every now and then, he like goes over, walks beside Kamal, and asks about what they're writing, and yeah, is like not like super into like learning that side of plants, but
right.
It's part of the broader understanding.
Part of the process, as it were. His response is very like, oh, yes, like, I know that there's so much more to plants and herbalism, but these are the sort of things that I'm hoping will, when I return to the university, will help me with my thesis on the flexibility of fate and prophecy in Haeth.
It's a fascinating thesis. I wish you the best of luck. How do the plants play into that thesis?
Well, plants have a remarkable ability to put us into a state of what I would call ecstasis. And when you are in a place of ecstasis, you are more in touch with the small and forgotten gods and the realm of the spirit. And once you are in touch with that, because they don't perceive time the way we do. They perceive time all at once. Kith and travelers like us experience time like a river, always going forward. That is not how spirits perceive time. They perceive it more as a whirlpool of water that is constantly circling in a cycle. So they perceive time everywhere, everyone, all at once. Oracles like myself strive to reach this point of ecstasis. Every Kith can achieve it. It's just sometimes they need to, and he like points his bill down at his notes, ingest things.
I see. Interesting. Thank you for sharing. That's a very interesting note about the gods and their experience of time. What an interesting subject. Theo's thinking, do I need to add another subject to my list of subjects that I want to learn about?
Yes. Lavender and Mel, how are you all reacting to the cans? Are you just gonna have the group like stumble into them? Theozander has managed to stop Kamal in conversation, so they're not heading towards it. But Luther is still like looking up for like large, bug threats, and may very well just stumble into these cans because he's not paying attention to that eye line. Go ahead,
so
Lavender.
Lavender was trying to pay attention, but I know you were saying that Kamal wasn't worried about the food qualities, but Lavender is, because there's berries, there's
Oh, real life child distraction.
Yup.
Lavender's player has a child.
Yup.
Just so you know, a circle has 0 sides.
Circle has
correct.
0 sides.
But yes, there is what is it? Honeysuckle and little berries and
Oh, okay. So Lavender is like gathering like
trying to keep up with Mel, but at the same time gathering stuff. I don't know if there's any acorns there to gather or not, because
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything that you would need, all the things you have described are all easily forageable in this place. If anything, there's an abundance of it. Not as much as say if it was a garden, but you're in a wilderness. So there is lots of like edible flowers, berries, nuts. And Lavender has, got a pretty decent education. So
I think maybe Lavender has a wing full of stuff that she's trying trying her best to keep up, and it just keeps picking stuff.
Right. Lavender, go ahead and take a token for doing something kind and not expecting anything in return, as you are essentially foraging for the next meal for the group, and that is wonderful. Same thing to you, Theozander. I really think that taking an interest in what Kamal is doing is also something very kind as well. So both of you take a token. But it looks like, Mel, it's on to you to like tell the group about these cans, or everyone's going to end up accidentally. One of your travelers or companions is going to walk into it and alert everything in the wilderness that y'all are out here.
Mel is going to be a brat and wait until Luther's right about to. And then like very quick, like jet an arm out, be like, you missed something. Look down.
Oh, that would have been very, very loud. And at that point, he takes a step back and then spreads his because he's big. We said he was like what, 6'4", almost 7 feet tall. He like spreads his arms out and kind of Lavender, you boop, like gently bump into them. A couple of berries spill out, and you have to go and as you like bump into Luther's massive muscular arms, and Theozander and Kamal, something similar. Like you notice that like Luther's not letting anybody like go past, and you see like the cans like all strung up, shining in the sunlight, and he's like, "Everybody, stop! And stop.
I'd like to do a place move.
Please do."
As Luther's doing this, perfect timing, cinematic timing, ahead of us about 50 feet, so not very far ahead of us. But there's a thumping that like, or not thumping, sorry. The sound of something large standing up with that kind of like creaking, and then pushing through the underbrush and crossing the path in front of us is a beetle that looks like a rock, like has all sorts of like protrusions on the shell, and it's very cranky like, but has 2 bright yellow little like happy, like the emoji, like a happy emoji, little face, bug eyes, and little face, and it's just like, and just moving through, doesn't even stop to look at us, but it's just so big that there's like a 10-foot space behind it as it's clearing through, and there's a new road that's being built right in front of us. That's how they clear roads in the Viridian Forest with stone beetles.
Oh. Okay.
Cool.
Luther's gonna do something he can always do. I've got it covered. And he goes into his little tool side satchel, pulls out a pair of like snips, which that he usually uses in his leatherworking. And he goes over, because that's kind of like his secondary craft, because you make metal things, but you need to put metal things in things, and leather is a great thing for that. And he just kind of pulls out his leatherworking shears, and snips the rope on one side near the tree, and gently lays it down so that it doesn't make any noise. All right, everybody, let's just step over these cans. I'm gonna fix this. And he pulls out like a little bit of twine, And once you are on the other side of the cans, he'll put it back up and he'll fix it. Whoever put this up for a reason, but there's no reason for us to make a whole bunch of noise when something that huge is inhabiting this forest.
Oh, maybe that's the reason. Maybe they roads under construction. They blocked it off like they do in town sometimes.
Maybe, but this looks more like an early warning system for people coming in. Or you're right, maybe it is blocked off for the new road. And the beetle is finally made its way far enough away from you all. And when he does that, the clouds, or the few white fluffy clouds that are up in the sky, kind of clear a little bit more, and then the sunlight intensifies, and you can see maybe about 30 feet down the way past this little crossroads intersection that the stone beetle created is a massive, and I'm talking about a 30-foot tall tree with a huge trunk and all of these that it has all has these little houses built in its branches, and also it's hollowed out also inside, and around the area where this tree is, you could see the wilderness has kind of been pushed back. Essentially, it's in the center of this clearing where you could see playhouse, like a little jungle gym, children's park, where there's swings and teeter totters and a rocking beetle as opposed to a rocking horse, flowers everywhere. You've been seeing all of these beautiful blooms of, as I mentioned before, for the season, yellow and white. But this is the first time that you see the pink blooms just sort of popping out. They're just kind of, you're not sure what fruit this tree was bearing, but there's these vibrant pink blossoms that are all around this tree. And you can also see a vegetable garden, and you see people, children, just running around, climbing this tree, playing in the park, but you can't really make out much more details than that. And you can hear the distant laughter of children at play.
How far is it, the playground?
30 feet.
So can Lavender run to the playground?
Absolutely. You can absolutely run to
Okay.
the playground.
She's going to go over to the teeter-totter, and she hasn't had anybody to teeter-totter with.
Uh-huh.
So she goes to the middle of it and makes it kind of balances.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm making any sense when I say that.
No, you're making absolute sense. You're in the middle of it with one foot and the other foot, and you're just sort of, your wings are out.
Yeah.
And you're just balancing.
Yeah, that's how she plays with it.
And this little little girl fruit bat walks up to you and is like, "Oh, wow, a visitor. What's your name?"
Hi, Lavender.
Hi, Lavender.
Hi. Sorry, I hope you don't mind. I saw this. This is one of my favorite things to do when I go to the playground, is to play this teeter-totter.
Teeter-totter is great. Just 1 second. And then she takes to the air with her little bat wings and says, Miss Clara, we have a visitor. And we're gonna pause there for a moment. Mel, Theozander, what do the two of you do? As Luther and Kamal are gonna take their cues from you two.
Mel turns to Theo with just a big shit-eating grin, just knowing this is gonna be good. I'm so Theo, you want to find some kids?
Yeah,
Oh.
I guess we did.
I guess we did. Here we go. You all make your way forward, and you arrive just in time for a very harried looking dove woman She has like she's not a white dove. She's a little bit closer to a pigeon in that her coloring is like bluish and gray, blue and gray. So more like I think they're called turtle doves, the ones that are gray. As she like flies from like one of the houses built into the tree gently down, and it's like, oh, hello, my name is Clara. I am the lead caregiver of the Greenhollow Orphanage. Are you here seeking refuge, young miss?
No, I saw the playground. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I can leave if you'd like.
no. Hello. Hi. Yes, we're travelers looking for some hospitality while we make our way through the forest, Luther says rather confidently. Of course. We have plenty of extra beds. And how long were you all planning to stay? Did you need to stay for the season or just for a night or a month? She
I think
says.
maybe just Theozander kind of looks around at the crew. I think maybe just a couple of nights. We're just kind of exploring and traveling through, this gorgeous forest. We just came in earlier this morning, and it's you have a lot of lovely tree neighbors here. So I'm sure, and I point to Kamal. Yeah, some of us are really interested in the plants that are growing here. So yeah,
Yes,
however much capacity you have to have us for a couple of nights. We don't want to. I hear you've got lots of beds, but we don't want to add to your plate. And I am a teacher by training, so
You're-
I could maybe help exchange as part of our our welcome stay here.
That would be wonderful. You're a teacher. Yes, that would be and let's see here. She's going to shout. No, she's not going to shout because they live in a big, huge, scary forest. She's going to lean down to Kelly and say, Kelly, do you know where Ventro is? Oh, I think Ventro said it was a free play day. And so I think he's sleeping in. All right. Well, why don't you and she just looks just like nervous, and is just like low key like shaking, and you all spot this little boy gecko, green skin with darker green skin spots, wearing like a little red t-shirt and like cobalt blue shorts, like literally looks like he just stepped out of like a picture book, and Gecko says, don't worry, I'll go get Ventro right now. And he slithers off on like all fours and just starts climbing the tree with like no problems, and like slinks into the window of one of the houses built into the tree. What a relief. Would you all like to join us for lunch? It's going to be in about an hour.
Yeah.
Actually, let me ask the travelers. You got here in the morning? Maybe had like breakfast before you all started traveling?
Yeah, like maybe not like a big breakfast if we knew that we were traveling and walking and everything.
Okay. I just want to make
Mel's
sure.
hungry. You gonna eat that? You gonna finish that?
No, are you gonna eat that? You gonna finish that? Wonderful. Hopefully Ventro will be here soon. Like I said, I'm Clara. This is Kelly. The little boy that you just talked to, that's Mint. And it's so wonderful to have guests. Here, let me give you a tour. And she starts giving you all a tour. She's like, this is the playground. This is the garden. All of the sleeping places are up in the area. She says, we're Greenhollow Orphanage. We have anywhere between 5 to 20 children at a time, and we care for them, look after them. I was raised here and decided to stay and help. Most of the staff here are volunteer, and children come and go. Sometimes different kith will come to adopt and offer a home. Other times, some of us just age out and decide to go traveling and see the world. But from what I'm to understand, this is like a very ancient tradition. And like she shows you like a wall of the tree that has a name of like every child that ever came here and gotten refuge. And there is just hundreds
I have
of
a
names.
question.
Yeah.
Would Lavender have seen an orphanage before?
No, but you've read about them.
Okay. And this looks like a really nice place, right? It's not full of starving children and
No, this looks
mean
really
teachers.
This looks like a really, really nice place, but maybe not ideal because you're in the middle of like a very dangerous wood. As I'm gonna take a place move as you're thinking about this, Lavender, and the tree itself is very warm. The clearing is very safe. You can even see like sigils of protection. You can see little shrines where the local, like on the edges between the forest and the clearing. But the trees here are so tall, so looming, and you can still hear the echoes of the stone beetle moving through the forest and a loud crash that could be a tree or a massive bug. And as I remind everyone of what looms beyond. So you get this feeling that while this is itself a warm and safe place, it is a warm and safe place in the middle of a wild, dangerous wilderness.
Lavender is going to ask if this place was here during the war.
Yeah, it's actually older than the war. And Clara puts her fingers in against some of what looks to be like the fresher names. Actually, from the war was a time of great activity. Almost every room was filled. Some of us even slept under the stars back in those days.
I absolutely hate that this place exists, but I am glad that it does for the people who need it. But I wish it didn't exist. No offense. Sorry. No offense. This is a beautiful place. It's just horrible.
Well, if there's one thing that I've learned about this place, and she kind of points to a corner of the tree where this wall is, where all the orphans have like carved their name into it. She points to a part of the tree where the bark is like overwhelming, like growing over some of the names. It's been here before the war. So I think places like this always have to exist, if that makes any kind of sense. I don't like that it has to exist either. I'm always worried that we're going to have another time where we don't have enough space for all of the children. But I shiver to think if it wasn't here, what would happen to all the kids? Me, you, and Theozander. You, like, as you're kind of quietly observing this conversation, you get this sense of connection to this place or something in this place. And you're not sure where it's coming from.
Okay. Yeah, I think like Theozander's been like really listening to this conversation and kind of like, fades sideways, like, his attention shifts. And I think what I'd like to do as a player, I'd like to spend a token to allow something to connect with me on a personal level. And I guess what that looks like for him is like just really listening and trying to sense where this is coming from and trying to feed that connection to get a sense of like, is there a direction? Is there a specific direction? Is it just sort of ambient?
You feel this connection to something specific nearby that's pulling you, almost like a string has been tied around your heart and something is tugging on the string. And whatever it is on the other side of this massive tree.
I think he just sort of starts absentmindedly, like just walking that
Away.
direction, not saying anything, just like.
I want to invite my other two players to look at the place moves and be open, as I'm going to do a little side scene with Theozander, but I would love for the two of you to still be involved if you would like at any moment. Theozander, you make your way away from the scene and you're going around the tree when you see what looks to be like a little hollow, like a hollow in the tree, like maybe like a plate, like a knot had grown out, but like had been hollowed out on the inside. And there is what looked to be like little mirrors that are like reflecting the sunlight that are kind of dangling in front of this hollowed out area that it seemed to be like projecting sunlight into it. They're all on strings. It's a little weird, strange decoration, and you see another kith other than Clara. It's another fruit bat, but a fully grown fruit bat. Big wings, broad shoulders, big muscles, kind face, who is like adjusting the mirrors and has like a bag of like dried grass that he's kind of stuffing into the hole. And as you make your way over there, you see that there is a massive egg that is in the hole, cushioned in the grass. And this like fruit rat gentleman is like trying to like stuff the dried grass in there and make it more comfortable. And it seems like the mirrors, from what you could see, are like reflecting sunlight into the hole to make it warmer without fire, essentially, because who wants to don't light a fire under a tree? It's a bad idea. And you instantly recognize A, this is a Tawny Frogmouth egg, and B, this is what is pulling that string. Hi, hello. Are you?
I'm sorry. I'm Theozander. I just arrived with some of my friends. We're just gonna stay here.
Oh my gosh, are you Egg's parent?
Who?
Egg.
Oh, we've never met before.
And he like gently pulls out the egg. This is Egg. Egg just arrived.
It is an egg. Ago. Yes. Oh.
Can I take a second?
Absolutely.
I want to describe a precaution that that people take here against dangers. Mm-hmm. There is there's like a net. I'm not sure what it's made of, but if just the smallest string is pulled, it will fall on whoever is coming towards Egg.
Yeah.
It's a trap just to protect the Egg because this is the most vulnerable.
Yeah.
And it's this really strong net that will trap whoever. And I think there's probably 2 or 3 of them. Right. It's like rigged up to protect. And as you cross over to it, you will see the little strings. And they're really fine strings. It's hidden pretty well, but it's there. It's to protect this really vulnerable egg.
Oh,
sorry.
Don't come any closer yet. Just give me a moment. And he like steps over the strings and like heads on over, and he's got Egg kind of tucked in. So this is Egg. We have some nets set up, so in case any large bugs come in, because bugs.
Fair enough.
But yeah, this is Egg. Egg came here about 2 days ago. Are you here to adopt? Did you leave Egg here? We just found Egg on the edge of the forest, and we've been trying to
left there.
Yeah, like we were trying to keep. Like, I mean, it happens usually. People who don't feel like they can raise their babies occasionally will leave them with us, or it's happened a few times. It happens when you run an orphanage, but we've never had someone just leave an egg like this, like unincubated. it's too big for Clara to roost it, because Clara's a dove, and we just haven't really known what to do, because we don't know
Well, I can see this mirror setup you've got is very inventive. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I appreciate that you're trying.
Yeah, Clara said that that would probably be the best idea. I was going to set up a fire cradle thing, but she said that would be a bad idea. The egg might get cooked.
Might be a bit intense.
Yeah. And we don't want to cook egg like a bug egg. We want egg to, be safe. Egg is
sorry.
going...
Can I touch the
Absolutely.
egg?
Here. And then he just very
okay.
carefully puts egg into your arms.
I think Theozander just starts crying, like unexpectedly. Just kind of feeling that connection.
Egg is going to do something that they can always do, which is non-verbally ask, "Are you okay?"
And is this like am I like getting this move. It's question?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a question move. But you can feel it. It's being asked like it's so
and as he's I think as he's crying, he's like, am I okay? Like, where is this coming from? And maybe it's kind of coming.
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead. I want to describe fragile and young, but I think you might have been about to describe what I was going to do, Logan, so please.
I was just going to say the question I think is also coming from the fruit bat whose name I've forgotten, about this broader question of like, you just started crying. Are you okay? But yeah, feel free to add on top of that now.
Yeah. Kendrell. He hasn't said his name yet, but it is Kendrell. Or Ken for short. But I will specifically say, Ken is not asking that out loud.
Mm-hmm.
Egg has the trait quiet, and one of the moves that quiet kith can always do is non-verbally ask, "Are you okay?" So this "Are you okay?" I just want to make very clear, is not coming from Ken. It is coming from the egg.
I would like to describe. I would like to describe something fragile and young, and that is the connection, that tendril of connection between Theo and Egg coming in and like actually solidifying as is crying and like realizing it is that oh shit parent moment that parents get, where it's like, oh, and it's fragile because you don't know what to do with it. It's brand new and it's wonderful. And yeah, I want to put a name on it. It's parenthood.
Thanks for adding that out. Yeah, I think Theo's like having this like slow-mo fast, like where everything's going slow but his brain is moving really fast moment. Feeling this question coming from the egg, and I think it's that oh shit moment. And I think it's like a realization of something that he didn't know he wanted. And I think he's speechless. He will just be speechless until Ken says something or someone says something. He's just kind of like gazing at this egg, feeling that feeling.
Ken is going to make a move that he can always do, which is take on a heavy burden. And Ken pulls out a handkerchief and very thoughtfully, boldly, but thoughtfully, carefully wipes the tears from your face and cleans your face in that kind of delicate way a parent would clean a child's face. And to give you like a moment to like, and starts to like almost like take on this burden and puts his armor around you. And he says, "My name is Ken, or Kendrell, but Ken for short. Welcome to Greenhollow. Would you like to sit and spend some time with Egg?"
And he's just like hasn't like looked away from the egg at all. He says, "Yeah, I think I would."
Okay, all right. come on, join me. We're gonna have lunch in about an hour, but let's have some sit time. And he takes you over to like a bench, like a really comfortable bench with like a cushion on it, like a hand stitched, you know, comfortable cushion, which has like carved on the top of it. It says adoption bench, and has you just sort of and just sort of sits you down, and it's like you just sit there. I'm gonna go talk to Miss Clara, and I'll bring you some. I'll come get you when lunch is ready, and then we could have a conversation. Okay?
Yeah, I think he just nods, still kind of in that not quite here with the egg and not like here space.
Do you say anything to Egg once Ken wanders off?
Do I say anything to Egg? I would.
Or non-verbally. You can also answer non-verbally if you like.
I think I feel like Theo's not saying anything verbally, but he's kind of like, you know, in his mind introducing himself, saying, you know, oh, hi, I'm Theozander, and just being like, you know, who are you? Like, where did you come from? What do you need? You know, and it's very, very mindful that this egg and the being inside it has had probably a pretty intense journey over the last couple of days. No idea what the physical travel was like from wherever they came from to Greenhollow 2 days ago, and was left for some period of time, kind of possibly cold. And so it's just trying to be like very warm and gentle and soft, to just be like, hey, this, like, not knowing how he doesn't remember how it feels to be inside an egg, but he's trying to be like, yeah, you know, maybe you felt some movement just then, but it's okay, we're not going anywhere. And yeah, just trying to be very gentle and soft and inquisitive about this new egg.
Egg just is responding vibrantly. Like you can feel movement from inside the egg, but it's movement of like curiosity and comfort. I know those are two weird words to sling together, but children, especially babies, in my experience, tend to move in that way. Egg is so curious about you, but is also very comforted by your presence. And I will say that in the distance, as Ken, stumbles away, Mel and Lavender, you can see in your peripheral vision that Theo is gone. But then Theo, like magically appears on a bench near the playground, holding an egg. The camera goes from Theozander and then bops over to Mel, Lavender, Luther, and Kamal. And Clara nervously looks behind her, and then you see this tall, slender salamander, or urodella, which is a type of salamander, who his coloring is kind of a splash of green, red, and yellow, and he's wearing like a button up t-shirt, like very, very like camp counselor kind of orange shirt, and long like the Dickie shorts, like the worker Dickie shorts that cut off not at the knee but like right at mid calf, and he just barefoot, of course, and he's just sort of being dragged along by Mint, the little gecko boy, and he just waddles over and he's like, oh, my apologies, I was taking a nap. And he like pulls out of his pocket and he pulls out like a little whistle, like a coach's whistle, and puts it around his neck. And he's like, so hi, hello, my name is Ventro. I am the head of activities. It is a pleasure to meet you. And he like extends his hand and like shakes Luther's hand and shakes Kamal's hand, and goes to shake Mel's hand, and shake Lavender's hand. So I heard that there was a I take it you're the teacher, as he points at Lavender, because you have all the paint splotches on you. You're the teacher. You teach art.
I could try. I only taught one person before.
Clara is like, no. She's not the teacher. The teacher is I don't know where the teacher went. The teacher was just here.
And he just sat down over there. I don't know if maybe he needs a minute. I don't know.
Well, Clara, as like the big burly Ken walks up, this like big burly fruit bat. It's like, Clara, I think we've got a new adoptee. I have a really good feeling for Egg. They're over on the adoption bench, spending time with them. I definitely think that this might be, if it's not Egg's parent, it's definitely like, oh, hello, welcome. I thought there was only one new person that was here.
Can I go?
He was adopting a kid running.
Yeah, can I go paint something, please? I see you have a wall there. I'll paint you a mural, a really nice one.
Ventro is like, oh, can the children watch?
Yes. Yeah. Just give me a minute to get set up, and Lavender will just go over to that wall.
Okay.
She did hear about the adoption, but she's in her feelings right now, so she's going to make a mural.
No worries. Like, you managed to find like a blank part of the tree, and as you approach it, bark starts to peel off on its own. Like, you walk up to it and like the bark just sort of rolls off, and the breeze goes by, and the tree itself gives you a blank canvas of fresh, naked wood. How do you respond, Lavender?
I'll thank the tree.
You don't hear this, but you feel it from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. It's as if every rattle of leaves, every root, every breeze says all at once, "You're welcome."
She is going to paint a big mural on the tree. I think she will start with to do the background. She will be kind of upset when she starts the background. But by the time the kids come around, what she's painting is the ice palace has a really nice playground. But she's painting what she's painting is that playground, but this one that she's painting is full of colors.
Ooh.
And if she sees the kids come up, she'll start adding the kids, and she'll probably even hand over some brushes to the kids to add to it. It's like it's calming her down. She's feeling better as she does it. As I guess this is just helping her, and it's also giving the kids something. It's intended to be really beautiful and have the kids in it that she can see, and then the kids can paint what they want on it.
The first kid that joins you is a tuxedo kitten, a little boy tuxedo kitten. And he's the first one that you hand a brush to. And then quickly Mint and Kelly end up joining. And a couple of other kids join, a little hawk boy and a little fox, and a red fox in particular, and a little bobcat. And they come up, and you're just sort of painting, and they're all painting along with you, following your instructions. Exactly. What is Mel feeling right now? What was it that made her suddenly desire to run and paint?
No, Lavender.
Yeah. I want to know. It seemed a little sudden, Lavender.
Well, the fact that there's an orphanage here, it's not as terrible as she thought. There's kids who have other kids to play with.
Right.
And then she hears that, there might be a kid getting adopted. And she's just kind of upset because she's seeing what she's missed out on. The company of other kids, the possibility of someone actually being a parent. So she's want to paint just a happy playground full of kids that are happy and safe.
I am going to give you a token. And the reason why is because this place can always ask what worries you. And you get a token if you bare your heart. And you have just bared your heart. So get a token for that as you're painting this beautiful mural. And the children are also helping and being a part of the activity. Lavender, where do you think our camera should shift next while you're in the midst of this mural activity with the children before lunch?
To Mel running over to Theo.
Okay. All right. And with that, Mel, you're running over to Theo. Mel, who do you think follows you? Kamal or Luther or both? Or none?
I don't think either. I think
Okay.
I think Luther is old and doesn't have the same reflexes. So like it might be like one of those like, huh. But Mel is like, it is that moment where like I know my friend has
Mhm.
wanted something more in their life and that sort of thing. And like that's a big decision. So it's like, honey, you're cutting bangs. Are we okay? It's like,
Right.
like for a real world analogy, you're cutting your bangs. Is this a good thing or is this a moment where I need to stop you?
Yeah.
So yeah, Mel's like excited, but also just terrified for Theo. Like that's a huge thing.
Yeah. And then do you think Kamal is more concerned about Lavender?
I think Kamal is like, especially once the other kids join in, the other youth, Kamal probably has a moment of pride mixed with like not grief or guilt, but something similar to it, because recognizing this is what I have kept her from. You know, this is we've restricted her from having something, and she obviously needs it. She gravitated towards this. So
and you would think that Kamal feels like an accomplice, even though it was not directly.
Because it's not direct, but it's still, you know, you have a voice. You can speak up and say something and try to steer things, even in power.
Exactly. And like at the end of the day, like Kamal would have stayed if Azalea had not let him go. So yeah, I think he's the reason why he doesn't follow Mel is because he goes over to watch the mural and reflect. So Theozander, you have a wonderful moment communicating and spending time with Egg when Mel rushes up, and there is room. There's plenty of room on the bench. It's a long bench. It seems to have been designed for like 3 or 4 people to be able to sit comfortably. So how do you move forward?
Theo, I heard a bat say something about somebody adopting someone.
Yes, yeah, that's Ken. He's seems very keen. I didn't say that. He said that. I'm thinking it, but I'm not saying it. That's it. Like I got, I've been sitting here for like 10 minutes, maybe it's been half an hour, maybe it's been 2 years. I don't know. If the time went weird for a second there, but it feels like it's probably short. If you hadn't had lunch yet, I'm still not super hungry.
It's more like it's still more like 30. It was more like 30 minutes. Like you've kind of had. I want to put a number on it. You've had about 30 minutes of uninterrupted time with Egg, but it feels like
more and less, and
more and less, and everything all at once.
This is a big decision, obviously. I'm not saying I'm making the decision, but I mean, I could make that decision. It's a decision that could be made, but
look, whatever decision you make is going to be the correct one, because the next decision after that will be there. Like, there's no bad decisions, right? That's philosophy, right? Cheating, please tell me that makes sense.
I didn't really do philosophy. It wasn't quite I was a more hands-on kind of student. But like, you can make mistakes, right? And
Yeah.
mistakes aren't always bad. You can learn from them. I tell my students that all the time. But like, there are, things can go good or bad, or better or worse in life. So they're maybe not, there's a better and a worse decision. I don't know this child. Like, I don't know where they came from. They still have a family, probably. Like, they got left here a couple of days ago, and like, that's a whole I don't know what that might look like, and or what's happened to them, and like, what if the parents come back, or but like they're saying they're having trouble incubating the egg because of the size versus the available bodies, and I feel it's a Tawny Frogmouth egg.
Okay, and that's what I was gonna add. I can't tell. I wasn't sure, and I did it. It's still kind of rude to ask if it. But, okay, yeah. Okay. Well then, so it's maybe this little thing could be yours for a bit. Like maybe yours is kind of like, that's not the right word to use, but like if you're here and you know what it's like to be a Tawny and to grow up in this world, and what you're a teacher, like it kind of feels like this might be like one of the small gods playing a trick on you, but in a nice way.
Egg shifts, like you can see the egg turning in your hand, almost like it's turning its head. And egg rolls and shifts around in your arms, Theozander, towards Mel, and non-verbally asks, "Are you okay?"
Out loud, Mel's gonna say, "No, baby, I'm not." Wait, what? Why?
Oh, did you get asked that question?
I think your baby is a small god. What? Why are kids so weird? Are all children small gods?
I mean, I feel like that's philosophy again. Again, not my subject. But they definitely...
and you don't do philosophy. I'll find another teacher.
The egg is vibrating joyfully, and you have a feeling that it's like laughing.
Yeah, I think I get that feeling. There's a lot of joy. And I think Theo's like, is laughing. It's a light moment, but it comes back down to that kind of serious thought again. And coming back what Mel said of, maybe this child is with you for a time, which, he thinks ultimately that's how it is with all children, right? They're with you for a time, and then they go away, maybe they come back, and so I think he's kind of like sitting with that, like, is it okay for it to be for a time if I don't know how long that time's going to be? And he's really sitting with that question, I think. And we'll also offer to Mel if you want to hold the egg.
Yes.
Seems to like.
Yes. I will not ask, are you going to eat this? Even though I know that is something I can always do. I think Mel holds the egg, like nestles it, but also calls out her small gods to like have them all play and like, here, I don't know what to do with this thing. Entertain it while we talked.
Yeah, the egg feels really warm and safe, and like you can just feel it kind of shifting in your arms, and then you feel like a little bit of movement on the edge of the egg, and then you feel it non-verbally asking that question again, but not to you. And then you feel a kick.
Oh, we're like immediately looking down, hand on the belly, and then like, here, our babies just talked to each other, and I wasn't mentally prepared for that. Here's your egg.
You're just handing the egg back. Take a token for speaking your true feelings on a subject. Actually, both of you, because you both opened up big time. But especially you, Mel. Like, you could have just been like, "Oh, I'm not ready." But Theo and Mel, you're having a moment as Theo takes the egg back, and I would like to do like a little flashback to the moment where Mel told Theo that she was pregnant. Where were you? What was that like?
I think it was actually like while traveling, Luther made one of those little comments like, "Oh, well, you need to don't run ahead, be careful for the baby," type of moments. And then, like, in that moment, Mel realized, "Oh, I didn't tell Theo that I was pregnant," and like have like a rom-com type of situation where it's like, "I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to. What, you didn't tell me?" Like, because I feel like that's very much our relationship is give and take and shit.
Yeah, I think that like what you said in that moment is on your mind as you're taking the egg back. So Theozander, what did you say when you found out that Mel was pregnant and on the road with you?
What did I say to Mel?
Yeah. What did you say?
I think I just said, "I'm so happy for you." Because I could just see that, she was beaming and just looked really happy and excited. So yeah, just said, I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. It comes back to the two of you, and you're once again kind of nestled, on this parent bench together, kind of sharing this moment. Sometimes memories, they come out of nowhere. But I will say that memory comes back to the two of you. And whatever you talk about, you talk about.
I'm so happy for you, Theo.
Yeah, I think like the memory fades into that.
Yeah. There is a lunch bell that rings, not immediately, but in a little bit of time. Yeah, absolutely, Lavender. Is there anything you want to do before the lunch bell rings?
Yes, I want to. I don't want to give them all of my art supplies, but I'm really happy with the mural because it's the playground that has been just played on with one person. Now it's full of happy kids,
children. Yeah.
And I want to give them some art supplies to get started with art.
Yeah. It's all good. It's Wanderhome. It's all vibes. Yeah. If you have plenty of extra supplies that like you can hand over. You've been bartering a lot, to have extra supplies because you've been traveling. Have you, Lavender? You've traveled with Baloo, right? Teaching.
Yes.
Yeah. So you actually have a bunch of extra supplies that you originally bought for teaching Louise.
Okay.
But you can always barter for more. So you have plenty of art supplies to donate.
I'm giving them to the kids, and I'm going to make a point for that first little tuxedo kitten. I didn't get any pronouns for the kitten, but
he, him.
I'm going to give him a sketchbook and a set of special pencils.
Oh, thank you.
I'm hoping to spend a token with this by giving someone something that can fundamentally change.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, awesome. Yes. He takes it and he's like, "Thank you so much. My name is Jeffrey."
Hi, Jeffrey. I'm Lavender.
I like to draw and paint a lot. My favorite.
Me too. You want me to tell you a secret?
Yeah. And he puts his little ear up real close to your bill so that nobody can hear it.
That playground is a real playground.
Oh, when I grow up, can I visit?
You know what? I will take you there when you're older. I'll come back. I'll make sure if I'm not here, I'll come back here and I will take you to there. It's a really cool way to get there too. There's a secret entrance.
Oh, thank you, Miss Lavender. That's so awesome. And then I could draw a picture looking at the place. I'll practice so that I'm as good as you are.
You're already good. Look at what you painted here.
Ventro, can we have lunch here? And Ventro is like, absolutely. And Clara's like, oh, I'll go get all of the picnic supplies. As she like heads over, and the kids all cheer. Kamal walks up and he's like, this is beautiful, Lavender. Like there's so much magic in your art. And I'm very excited to see what little Jeffrey creates in the future. Me too, sir, me too.
It's going to be great, whatever he creates.
Yeah, and Clara will come back with with help from Ken, and set out a big picnic. All the kids. There's about 5 or 6 kids here at this point. They all come over, and eventually Ken will come get Theozander and Mel. You hear the lunch bell after you've had some more time to sit. Time's a weird soup. It's wibbly wobbly, but it's about a little afternoon time when everyone gets together in front of this fantastic mural. And there's pillows laid out where everybody can sit comfortably, and you end up having a delightful little picnic for lunch. I would like to ask my travelers, what family style picnic meal is arrayed before you, including things maybe your characters might contribute if you do, as you all sit down to relax and have some lunch.
There's French fries.
French fries? Cut
Yes.
French fries. Okay. All right. Yes.
I mean, they could actually be French fries because of
No, absolutely. But cut up potato, yeah, spicy, spiced with not too hot because there's kids, but with herbs from the forest, and maybe some chopped up garlic on there as well. But a little side tray that's plain because some kids are picky eaters.
yes. Also, all that fruit that was picked earlier, but definitely. French fries.
Does Lavender donate the fruit, the fresh
Yes.
fruit? Yeah,
Yes.
no, they take it. Actually, there is a lot of fruit that, but Lavender and the fruit Lavender donates ends up making it so that there's plenty of berries and things. Big bowl of fruit and trail mix that with a giant spoon that the kids, when they put their hands out, Dove is and then they grab the giant spoon and spoon up all the fruit, pour it into a little bowl. Theozander, what else has been arrayed for this lunch? So far, we've got fresh fruit and nuts.
I think there's Theozander's contribution, or what he helps with, is there's a bug meat salad.
Ooh.
It's sliced meats and maybe and vegetables as well, but it's the bugs that are the real the hero of the dish.
Yes, just big delicious chunks of meat and a leafy green salad with veggies with a nice little light oil and vinegar dressing. Mel, what is arrayed on the picnic, whether you contribute or not? What do you see?
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and say that one of the specialties of this orphanage is that they are actually over a mineral spring. And so they have mineral water. They have bubbly water that they mix with the fruits and berries and everything to make a lovely little spritzer.
Oh, okay. No, I like this a lot. There are delightful, hand-carved wooden plates and bowls and spoons. There's a bowl of fresh whipped cream that you all can enjoy with the fruit or the salad, depending. There's 2 bowls. One's a sweet cream, one's a savory cream, and a big, huge loaf of bread that is fresh baked, which makes you realize that there's a outdoor solar oven here, which suddenly makes that mirror trick make more sense. And you all sit down and have a wonderful a wonderful lunch. And egg curls up. You can feel egg curling up in the shell and starting to fall asleep and take a nap on your lap, Theo. And with that, we are going to go ahead and take a little break. Go ahead and get you some coffee, some water, and a snack. And when we come back, lunch will be all done and the journey will continue.
World.
Hello, everyone. We are now back from our break. A couple of updates, just a little bit of housekeeping. We had some technical difficulties, so Mel will be just a voice because there's some stuff going on with their camera. But they are still here. So if we have this beautiful map, I just want to let everybody know that Mel is still here. They're just going to be a disembodied voice for the rest of our journey. Also, we are still raising money for Rainbow Railroad. Just a little reminder, our charity incentives today are if you donate $5, that gives our travelers a token that they may use or save. You can introduce a new Kith, which is an NPC, for $15. You can gift a relic to our travelers, a special type of Kith that's an inanimate object that confers the travelers who carry it a supernatural trait. And each relic also has a unique bit of lore that comes with it. Or you can donate $25 to gift a traveler a level and a path of magic, either a new path or the next tier and one they are already gifted with. And our donation goal, for every $50 we raise, we will awaken a folklore. And the folklore of the current nature being directly interacted with will be immediately brought into the current scene. Just to tempt you all, our folklores are the flower mouse and the secret garden, the harvestman's patience, and the forest spirits and their mockery. And with that, we return to our group who have finished a delightful lunch. And right now, they're on the edge of the playground. All of the children are playing on the swings. And I want to say that everyone is at the adoption bench, sitting comfortably and eating fresh baked cookies that were brought to them from Clara after lunch. I want to ask Theozander a question. Is Egg in your lap, or or is Egg put back in the comfy nest?
I think for this conversation, Egg's been put back in the nest. Because I think Theozander realizes that holding Egg has a certain effect on him, and if he wants to think about things from different angles, you need to let Egg rest for a bit separately.
Yeah, well, Egg is your main being in your presence, in the presence of all of you, actually, especially Theozander, but all three of you, or I should say, Mel and Lavender. Egg is very much at ease and is now asleep. So, Egg is sleeping soundly in the little nest, while all of you are kind of gathered at the little adoption bench.
Mel is
Go ahead, Mel.
real quick. As we're gathered there, like what Mel is physically doing as we have this talk is measuring on Theo. Measuring like across the shoulders, down the back. Not saying what she's measuring for, but measuring Theo.
Right.
I think he's just like doing whatever she says, like put your arm up here, okay, stand like this. And he's just like, okay, I'm just gonna trust you. I don't know what this is, but cool.
You're on the bench. You're all spending time together. There's a basket of like fresh fruit that's been left nearby that occasionally one of the children runs over, grabs a fruit, and heads back to the playground and snacks on it while they're playing. Lavender. In the background, within sight, is your mural. And to kind of kick off this like little conversation that you're all having, so you're able to bring out the truths of a subject you capture. And you've drawn the children of the orphanage in the playground that you grew up in. What is the internal beauty that is brought out? Do you have any details? Or is it just the beauty of the playground and the happiness of the children?
I think it's the bright colors too.
Bright colors?
It just makes it almost seems brighter than the world around it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not quite the effect of, Oz being full color, but it is definitely noticeable.
Mm.
Like it's accurate. It's an accurate picture, but everything in it is colorful and bright and shiny.
And what is the frightening reality that you realize in yourself after painting this mural?
I think that the artist is always the observer. Just kind of, you have to watch things to paint them. You're not really in the...
Yeah.
Because she's not in it. She's not in the picture because she's filled it with other kids.
Other children? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for Theozander and Mel, when you're looking at the mural, the truths that you learn about Lavender, of course, was born to never be lost and has been protected and sheltered mostly till now, and is also a story that she didn't mean to tell. Lavender, are your parents in the background watching the children? Or is there something different that gives away that story of your parents' tragedy?
Yes, they are. They're like they're watching over the kids.
Okay. So you see two swans, we'll say one black, one white.
Yeah.
That are watching over the children. They are dressed like kind of bohemian, the kind of people who, a little bit Regency, a little bit bohemian, they look like what bohemian rebellious artists would have worn in like the 1800s, right? Like just the mother is in like a really comfortable, still empire waist dress, but it's very much like a country gown. And there's like splotches of paint on her dress, and then the father is a little more, is just wearing like a loose shirt and the high waisted trousers, but is barefoot, and are just like happily watching over the children. And both of them look like Lavender, but are not Lavender. Do either of you comment on what you have learned looking at this mural?
I think I'd definitely comment on the mural and say to Lavender, this is really gorgeous, and you painted that so quickly, and I really like how you invited the kids in, and I can see the different, they can only reach so high, but I can see kind of this is like this nice layering effect of all the kids' contributions, and then your work, Lavender, and yeah, I think maybe Theozander would ask, like, oh, who, like, having noticed, like, a bunch of the kids are all in the mural. I think he would ask, like, oh, who are these swans here in the background? I didn't see any swans here.
Those are my parents.
Why did you paint them into the mural?
So they could look over the kids. They didn't look over me, so... And there's lots of nice people here, but it's still always nice to have parents.
Mel's just gonna crush Lavender into a big, huge hug.
You get a little, you get a little burn, like not a harsh one, as Seraphina, the tiny small god of flame, that has been following Lavender, like
Oh.
flies away from Lavender's shoulder, and you hear in the cackling of flames, "Sorry!" And Seraphina just kind of
I'm
floats
used
above
to
your
it.
head.
At least this fire apologizes. No, but Lavender needs a hug. That's like
Yes.
I don't, it doesn't matter how much Mel gets in. Just like Lavender is getting one of those deep, multiple moments long hugs. This is so sad.
I think all of your little small gods, the ones that aren't slumbering, like all come around and give like a little group hug as like Lavender is just like surrounded by like all of this love. And this really sweet moment.
And I think when Lavender said, like, it's always nice to have parents, Theozander thinks about Egg again. Just like, yeah, briefly mind trips over that as well, and then focuses back on Lavender.
Are you going to finish that, Lavender? And Mel like pulls out, like forcibly pulls out a chunk of a pastry or fruit. It's like, so I think we have a problem here that we need to address. And how do you keep an egg safe while you're traveling?
Oh,
yes, I've been thinking about that.
My parents propose. Kamal's going to do something he can always do, which is propose an alternate approach. Well, I know that my parents, when they were traveling, they had this like papoose, this like reinforced like sling thing that they used to carry me around in until I hatched. At least when they were going places. Otherwise, I was resting in the nest.
I knew you were here for a reason, Kamal. You're a wealth of unexpected information.
Do you need any help? I'm very crafty, particularly when it's things that don't exist yet.
Yeah, I think, well, it's up to Theo, but I think if Egg's going to be joining us, then we need to make sure that it's riding in style and protection.
And yeah, I think that would be great if you have time and materials to do that.
Hey, if we're going to be here for a couple of days, absolutely. Also, if Theo changes their mind, at the very least, we'll have something to help any egg we come across. Lowercase egg, not cap.
Yeah, the work won't be lost, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. And we can always gift it to the orphanage.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel bad because like it's the egg. So, but like it seemed very nice when I held it, and it didn't bite. That was not going to bite because it's egg. But like maybe we can have it be exposed to more people, even if it's just while we're here. And we get to play babysitter and see what it's like for a couple of days or long term.
Ken mentioned during lunch that Egg was dropped off here 2 days ago. So during Sun Parade? Or after Sun Parade? So should we... Theo, would you like a reading?
Sure. I think he's like kind of terrified and excited at the same time, but he's like, yes. Do I have to eat something?
No. I can use my cards if you like.
Oh, great. Yes, it.
All right. So, I'm going to make a move, and he lays out a spread of 5 cards on the ground in front of you. And as he does that, the cards start to glow and rise into the air. And there's a flash of golden light that reflects in Theozander's eyes. And that's all everyone else sees. Theozander, what you see as he makes the move, tell someone bad news about what their future holds. If they want to defy you, they'll need to spend a token. And I'm being a little flexible with the bad. So, what you see, Theozander, is you see an outline of yourself in a moment when you first thought about what would it be like to be a parent. You see this moment of you putting that wish, and the way it is, it's like an outline, right? It's like it's a background of solid golden light, and all of the depictions. It's like a shadow puppet like appearance, and like your wish takes the form of a star that reaches up into the clouds, and then that wipes away, and then like the next flash that you see is the clouds, and you see what looks to be like a massive like outline of what appears to be like the platonic version of a tawny frogmouth, and it like flies through the clouds, but when it goes through the clouds it turns into like a spark, like a divine like star, like a shadowy star against the starlight, and then it falls to the ground, and then there's like an explosion and of shadow against the light, and this then it wipes away, and then there's like an egg floating through a forest that just sort of drops like at the very edge, and then you see like little puppet, like little versions of Clara and Ken, and oh god, what's his name? Ken and Ven, like all looking curiously and holding up the egg, and then there's another flash of you having the egg, and then there's like another flash of like you and the egg and a cradle, and then you like carrying the egg and teaching classes, and then like the egg hatching one day, and then growing up, and then the egg getting big, and then one day the egg flying away, and then you and then Theo's and like yourself like crying, and then darkness. Would you like to spend a token to defy the sad future?
I don't think so.
No.
Like what I saw then was sounded pretty great. Like, you know, something about this, you know, the egg's connection, and eventually, you know, this child flies away, and that's sad.
Yeah.
And that's
also the child doesn't have parents.
Yeah. There's something mystical about that maybe Theozander doesn't fully understand. But yeah, something magical and curious has happened. But yeah, as for spending a token, I think that's being sad is part of the journey.
Part of
so
life.
I think he's gonna.
Okay, all right.
I think he's gonna spend to avoid that.
You do not have to spend a token. You don't spend the token to defy Kamal. And Kamal says, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you sure you want to face that loneliness?"
I think like Theozander has like another like tear sliding down behind his big glasses. I think he says a couple like different things cross his mind, but in the end he says like, "Oh, it's worth it, but also I won't be lonely, right? This journey will always have happened. I will have my friends around me, and I think it'll be worth it."
Okay. Take a token for doing something kind and not expecting anything in return. And how does everyone else respond? Because you didn't see the visions. You just saw like glowing cards, a bright flash, and then Kamal and Theo having that exchange. Is there anything anyone else says in response to that moment?
Mel, Kamal's done readings before and everything. But Mel looks aside to Lavender and just says, "Remind me next time he asks that I do not want another reading."
They're not always like that.
I know, but it's it's a little much for me right now. I'm trying to keep my heart rate down. You know?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
You should have some.
you gotta watch the heart because of the pregnancy thing. Luther says, like from the other side.
Yes, Luther, thank you for explaining how my body works to me. Thank you so much.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I keep doing that. I just love our baby so much. I need to stop
It's
looking over your agency. I'm really sorry.
Well, here,
oh, you're
Lavender will hand you a cookie. It's got like fruit in the. It's the kind of cookie that's got the jam in the middle.
Oh,
Which
how
is
did
like,
how did you know this was my favorite? What am I talking about? You're a magical painter, and we live in Haeth. Well, of course. And he like shoves the cookie in his mouth. And like for a brief moment, I think you all see who Luther was as a child. There's something about this place that seems to draw out those kinds of memories and people, who they were. And he just,
Hey, Lavender, have you ever done the teeter-totter, not the right way, because it's a toy, there's no correct way, but have you ever played with anybody else on a teeter-totter?
no, that's why I learned how to play it myself. There weren't any other kids at the Sky Palace. It was just me.
Do you wanna?
Yeah, you have to
Okay.
show me how because I haven't done it before.
Yeah. Well, while the boys are doing their thing with the cards, real quick, and Mel's gonna grab her hand and run like kids across the yard to do that kid okay, we have to leave the park in 5 minutes. Okay, I'm gonna run and I'm going to do as much stuff in that 5 minutes in that window as I can. Mel is gonna try to teach Lavender how to play on the different stuff while Kamal and Theo are rapping.
awesome. Mel, go ahead and take a token for doing something kind without expecting anything in return. And also, Lavender, I forgot to give this to you before the break. Please take a token when you make and give, because you made and gave art to others for the mural. And you head over, and it is. Lavender, what does it feel like to finally play the teeter-totter the way that the teeter-totter was designed for? As opposed
Lavender
to the game
is
that you made for yourself.
having the best time. At first, she's a little unsure, but you can just see her brighten up and just. I mean, she's already not quite right at the edge of being an adult, but you can see childlike joy.
Yes. You are enjoying the teeter-totter. How does it make you feel to see Mel? How does the look on Lavender's face as you are on the seesaw? How do you respond?
Yeah, Mel doesn't know all the details with Lavender, but has a really good idea of just how isolated and everything, and is starting to understand the adult decisions that might have led to that sort of thing. So seeing Lavender open up and just be like a kid, it's just dark, this is what it should have been. Makes cements in Mel's mind that yeah, I want to be a parent because I want to provide these sorts of experiences not only for my children but for their friends and my grandchildren, and continuing down this right here. This is what I want my life to be, making moments where people have this expression.
You spend this moment it's sort of like both of you hear like the laughter of children and the screams, but like happy screams, as opposed to terrified screams, in the heart of this playground. And back at the adoption bench, Luther sits next to Theo and says, uh, "You know, we're we're all here to support you, Theo. Like, I'm a little nervous about facing parenthood myself, but you know, if you do take Egg on the road with us, you're more than welcome to when Mel and I eventually get back to Drosslight to stay with us for a while."
Hmm. Thanks, Luther. I really appreciate that. That sounds nice. Yeah,
It's gonna
nice
gonna
to have
be a
some-
while, and
Yes.
I know that most kids in Haeth, and he points to the very overactive children on the playground, are usually ready to get up and walk and move around, within sometimes a day, sometimes a month or so. But I don't know.
You think
I always
you settled
worry
down?
later, at least for the latter part of the pregnancy and the birth, and once the kids are on their 2 feet, maybe if Mel wants to, maybe we'll go back on the road. I don't know. It's strange. Haeth is not. It's odd. The road
How's that?
calls to Mel, and I don't want to keep her from it. I feel like I've learned so much. I feel like I've de-aged 10 years since I've been on the road with her. But I do eventually want to settle down back at Drosslight, It is home. I feel bad for these kids. They don't have I feel sad, I should say, more like that they had to come out in the middle of nowhere to find a place.
It's a special kind of nowhere.
It is. It is. Also, I think the kids back in Drosslight would love to learn from you.
Yeah.
You're a great teacher, Theozander, and like I said, not now. Just know that there are places that you can call home. I know that's what we're all looking for.
Yes. Thanks for planting that seed. I'll think on it. Thanks, Luther.
Welcome. Kamal shuffles his cards, puts them away. He's like, well, oh. And like, it looked like he was about to say something like really profound, because like that's what Kamal does. But then like he sees Lavender just enjoying like being on the seesaw, and is just like, oh, I believe it seems Lavender is having a rather beautiful moment. Well,
I think Theo gets up and goes to try to find Clara or Ken.
Clara is rather easy to find, as she is nervously on the edge of the playground, like watching over the children. But Ken is also easy to find because Ken is like supervising the activities. Oh, excuse me, no, Ventro. Ken is up in the tree somewhere, like flying about. This big old bat.
Okay. Maybe I'll go to Clara.
Go to Clara?
So she's the lead, Kara. And checking in, like, is now an okay time to talk? I don't want to interrupt you if you're busy.
Absolutely. No, come. And she takes you over to the tree, and kind of leads you, like she just kind of floats up into the air and flies you over to like one of the little rooms. It's like a little cozy like cottage, with like lots of comfy chairs and a desk, and she's got like a little library shelf that is kind of grown out of the tree with all these different books and things and scrolls. And she's like, please have a seat. This is where I keep like all the records. What would you like to? And she's going to ask, is everything okay?
Oh, yes, yeah, I think so. But
Ken can
I
be a
guess I
little
want.
Ken can be a little pushy. I'm so sorry if it seemed like he was pushing egg onto you. He is just
He's very
I
excited.
he's very excitable, yes, and I don't feel any pressure. I'm sure the three of us will figure out a way to take care of Egg. You know, you're a traveler, and bringing a baby on the road is, while not unheard of in Haeth, can be very stressful. As
Yeah.
she makes the move, worry about something you don't have any control over.
um. Yeah. It will be tough. It'll be tricky, but I always have people around me, and it won't be a totally solo effort.
Oh, wonderful. May I ask of a personal question?
Yes.
Are you able to roost the egg? Ken told me that he told you that I couldn't. And you can see there's a little bit of annoyance that Ken just sort of blurted that out to you. That I couldn't.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I can. I feel confident I can do that.
Yeah, okay. I don't know what kind of egg is.
Ken said Tawny Frogmouth.
Oh, Tawny Frogmouth. Is that your?
That's me. So.
Oh, that's your ethnicity. Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that would work well then, I guess.
Oh, that's why. Okay, all right. I like I said, I was raised here, and I haven't traveled much. So, Egg, I've never met a fellow bird folk like you before. So, I guess it would make sense that I wouldn't recognize Egg. Well, let's fill out a little bit of paperwork. And she pulls out like a blank book that has, it's like really nice. It's like name, birthday, community of origin, like just like basic like information so that they can know like where did this orphan go, and that there's like little information, and like she it seems very like as I make the move, get really attached to an inanimate object. She seems very like careful with this like book of records, almost as careful as she is with the children, to make sure that everything is written out appropriately.
Great, perfect. Yeah, yeah, and I'm imagining Theozander has a nice set of pens and inks in his teaching supplies to fill out the details and sign on the dotted line,
which Clara loves. Clara is just like, oh, so wonderful. This is so great. And once that's done, she says, so Ben wanted to know what kind of classes you wanted to teach while you were staying here for a couple of days. Here, let me get you some information on their progress. And then she has another book that like has the lesson plans for like all of the children, and it has their names and their progress and their grades. And she's like, and this is everything. So
I think Theo takes the book like lovingly and like closes it and sets it down and is like, I like to sort of be led by what they're interested in. I've got a couple of subjects that I'm proficient in, and I kind of have a day flow that I go through. But yeah, if it's all right with you and Van, and I kind of usually toss it out to the kids and see what everyone's most interested in. And if I'm going to be here for a couple of days, I can maybe do a couple different classes. But yeah, I kind of like to be led by where the passion and excitement is.
Oh, I am so grateful for our itinerant teachers. I had every single time a teacher traveler would come through, it was such a wonderful memory. I think I had forgotten about that. Absolutely. But I will say, Jeffrey, who's the tuxedo kitten, really likes art. That was one of the reasons why I think he was one of the first ones to go help Lavender with the mural earlier this afternoon. So if you could do anything crafty for him, that would be lovely. But
Sure, we can work it in.
yes, and then the other children, and then she like takes the book and kind of goes through like, like Kelly really likes physical activities, but also likes carving. Mint likes exploring things and has memorized every single herb and plant that is immediately outside the clearing because we don't let them go into the wilderness often unless they're supervised. And then, names off a couple of other children and what like their direct interests are. Kind of sort of like setting up a little, giving you kind of insight so you can figure out like what lesson plan you want to put together for the kids' lessons.
Yeah, if they're trying to memorize the names and put them to the faces that he's seen so far. Yeah.
Yeah. And, Clara also says, so I just wanted to let you know that there's something special about Egg. I don't know what it is, but I think Egg might be tied to the small and forgotten gods in some way.
Okay.
Because, we give offerings daily because the gods of the forest can be tricky if you don't pay them proper homage. But it seems like usually our offerings take a couple of days before they vanish. But it seems as if they've immediately been vanishing as soon as we make an offering ever since Egg got here a couple of days ago. And we've been having a little bit more visitations by the various forest spirits. And I'm not sure if Egg is like a beacon or because, some children are special. And I think Egg might be one of those children. So they might grow up to be a traveler. Is that okay?
They can grow up to be whatever they want to be, but that's good information to have just to think about what their childhood might be like, how it might be different from mine.
Right. Well, I just wanted to definitely give you a little heads up since we were going over all the children and their different interests.
Yeah, thank you.
Especially the one that you're adopting.
Yeah.
Lavender and Mel, after you have your wonderful experience on the teeter-totter, what would you like to do next for the rest of the afternoon with here in the orphanage?
I guess make more art with the kids.
The beauty of afternoon or late evening rather has come up. The sun is setting. You can hear the bugs buzzing out in the forest. The clouds are kind of drifting across what is slowly becoming a dark blue sky. The stars are starting to begin to appear. And in the distance is a band of orange and red that is dipping behind the tree line. It's getting a little cooler, but not much because it is still bright. The children have changed into some evening clothes that are like a little warmer. And you all have been given a big, comfy cabin to all stay in with comfy, fluffy beds and a drawer, like a big, like a wardrobe and dresser to keep all of your things and your clothing to relax in. And there's like hooks, like kind of grown out of the wall, made of like, wood, and that you can put your coats on. And it's just like a nice little cabin that is literally up in the tree. When you look out the window, you can see a spectacular view of the entirety of the Greenhollow forest and even to the other kinds of regions that exist within the Viridian Marches. And it's just absolutely spectacular. You get a much better view of the sunset from the window in the cabin that you're all staying. Egg has been brought into the cabin to kind of stay with you all. And I want to ask, what do the three of you like to do before you settle in for the night and start 3 days of staying here? Who would like to go first?
I can jump in first. I think recently Theozander's wind down time. I think often he kind of goes over a few kind of key things from the different subjects that he teaches. As he's cleaning his feathers, he'll be going over the hierarchy of bugs and the different classes and that kind of things. And then when he's changing into his little pajamas, he's reciting a poem his favorite poem that he's memorized. And he practices a bit of a household magic to set up the bed, clean the pillows, clean off stains of things or shoot a bit of dust away. And then as he's getting all snuggled into bed, well, I think usually he'd get snuggled into bed and recite a couple of phrases of demon speech that he's been able to learn. But I think this time he's a little more careful with that, with Egg around, and instead of making the bed as kind of made a little nest of cushions and things, and has Egg on there and is settling into to roost for the first time, and I think he's gonna leave demon speech for tonight just in case, because maybe keep it away from a pre-porn baby. And so he's thinking about and kind of I think he's talking out loud to Egg, oh yes, I've got some cushions around, this is what they look like, we're in bed, we're in the cabin, maybe you haven't been here before. We've got Lavender and Mel and everyone around, and just kind of talking to Egg while he's getting ready for that.
Egg, as soon as you start roosting, everything is fine, everything is comfortable. Egg is really happy and rolling around and is sort of non-verbally talking back, oh, okay, oh, okay, oh, okay. And I think the last thing that Egg will say or Egg will do before immediately comfortably falling asleep is ask in this tone, "Are you okay?" Non-verbally, in a very sweet tone.
Yeah, it was very cute and sweet hearing it in that way, and I think Theozander gives a little chuckle and and snuggles down, and I think he says, "I'm more than okay."
Mel, before you bed down for the night, what would Mel like to do in the evening before settling down? Feel free to take your time.
Yeah, no, I know what Mel's doing. For the entire time that we're here, she has a goal of finishing a project for Theo and Egg. And
yes, and Kamal will help you. Remember, Kamal will help you, and so will Luther.
And Mel's gonna rope Lavender in as well.
Okay.
Because we can do the structural part. We can make it engineered to high heaven, but it also needs to be something that is going to be spiritually and artistically protective and enriching. So yeah, Mel would like once there's like an engineering sketch that she and Kamal has worked out, she'll take it over to Lavender and be like, Lavender, we're making a gift for Theo and Egg, and I was wondering if you could make it like beautiful for them, so that way Egg has something pretty to enter the world to.
Okay.
And so she points out, like Mel points out, like, see, like there's this different part with this shape of leather where like this flap, maybe you could do a design there. There's this big, huge part on the back, and like kind of like pointing out the different areas where so to give Lavender a little bit more instead of just here.
Okay.
But we're making a baby sling. We're making an egg sling for Egg and Theo.
So I've got 2 questions. 1, can I use a token to provide a solution for an aspect of a material or immediate problem?
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. And 2, is Egg still awake?
In the timeline for when you guys are creating this, yes. I'm going to say
Okay.
yes. I will say that as you're working on this in the very beginning, you can have some time with Egg before Theozander roosts.
Okay. And I'm familiar enough with things that I know to do mentally talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to ask Egg what their favorite color is and if they have a name yet.
Oh, I don't know and no.
Okay. So Lavender is going to use a little bit of magic when doing this because this is a solution. Lavender's worried that if there's a fall or a tumble, that Egg could get hurt.
Yeah.
So Lavender's going to use a little bit of magic and try to, and also put like a soft lining inside to protect from bumps and just a protective kind of fluffy layer.
No, I love that.
I have such a good idea. Lavender could draw clouds because she's like everything she makes is like real, right? She's a canvas. You could make fluffy little clouds.
That's
with a
true.
little baby bird.
Yeah, and to kind of boost that move, Kamal is going to use the move invent something totally new as you're all creating sort of this unique egg carrier. And Luthor is also has the move create something totally new. So essentially, like the 4 of you are going to be like sewing, crafting, painting, enchanting, as you create this like magical egg carrier sling. Lavender, you get all kinds of magic and support. Whatever extra you need from Luther and Kamal, they are right there to help you. What does it look like once you're finished with this gift?
I think the outside of it, like what you see, it looks like a pack. It could go in the front or the back, and it's the outside of it is in Theo's normal colors, which are what are those like earthy tones?
Yeah, his feathers are kind of brown, tans and browns.
But Theo does wear blue.
Okay.
And if we were looking at the art,
yeah,
it has this beautiful like blue, like, is that a jumper? Yeah, like a little blue jumper.
Like a blazer, yeah.
Blazer, yeah, and then like a brown and yellow plaid pants. So you could go neutral or you could go bluish.
It's like a neutral with like blue highlight and blue accents, so it coordinates really well with the outfit. And the inside is this, like when you look, even when you peek in, you see this fluffy protective cloud, and this, I think if you get close to it, you feel this kind of aura of protection, of safeness, of
of like warmth, a little bit of
Yes.
warmth in there to keep it like insulated. Okay, no,
Yeah,
I love this.
And there's painted on the inside with a sky and flowers,
Oh,
like different color flowers, because Lavender doesn't know what kind of colors or anything, so it's all of them. It's just this
yeah,
beautiful kind of, I don't call it a mural, but it's like a painting. And I
nice.
think since we don't know Egg's name yet, I was going to put in a letter for initial on the outside, but
Mhm.
it's obscured right now.
Ah, okay.
You can't quite tell what it is when you look
Right.
at it.
Yeah. Mel, what additional things do you want to add as you're also crafting this? There's all this beauty that Lavender has added and all of this magic, but what else do you have added on to what is probably the first to this relic, essentially, this custom relic that you're all creating?
There's two touches that Mel makes sure to put in. The first
Mhm.
one is that the closure or the flap, it's an actual like fold over flap.
Mhm.
And there's two pieces of clangite. So the person who is carried can look down and see the egg or whatever is inside the pack. And then whatever is inside the pack has a little viewport as well. Um,
Oh,
and
okay.
then along with that, on the back of the satchel carrier, there's a little slit so you can put your hand inside and actually touch the egg or whatever, like do a physical contact moment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I want to add. I love your details, Janie. Oh my gosh. If I had had a baby Bjorn like that, I would have never given it.
Yes. And some things that I would like to add. The flowers will transform into Egg's favorite color once Egg figures out what their favorite color is. And once Egg is given a name other than the nickname Egg, the name will magically appear uh, onto the obscured name.
I'm going to say it's painted with that color shifting paint, the color shifting
Yes,
pigment, so
yes,
it looks.
absolutely. Yeah, yeah. No, I hear you. What was the small god that you gifted, Mel? Was it Pigment, or is that what we named them?
No,
I think.
oh my
Or
gosh, I was just
Shimmer?
like, yeah, pigment. It's pigment is a small
It's
dot of
Pigment.
glibsons. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, no, I think Pigment also like lends a little help to Lavender with that portion, and you spend a lovely afternoon, and because you're all working together and using all of this magic, you actually get it done right before bed. So it's kind of sitting on like next to, kind of hanging next to you, Theozander, to be ready to put Egg in the morning. Lavender, outside of working on this project, is there anything that you would like to do before, in the evening, before settling down for the night, separate from the crafting project? I want to give you a little space
Um,
for that.
I'm sure the crafting project takes a lot of energy.
Hmm.
Um, I think Lavender is going to. She always does this. She goes outside and looks
At
up
night,
at the yeah,
at the
and
stars.
look
Okay.
up at the stars and
Yeah, yeah.
tells
We'll say you're
Seraphina about her whole day. About
about the whole day.
yeah,
Uh, Seraphina sits with you, a dome of starlight above you. You're hearing the crickets and the wildlife out in the wilderness. And Seraphina says, I love how you always tell me about your whole day, even though I'm with you.
Well, yeah, I like to talk, and you're always listening, so it's fun to tell you.
I love to listen. Thank you so much for giving me life, Lavender. Like, world is so vast and it's so beautiful.
It is, and I don't think we've seen even a small piece of it.
Yeah, there is so much more to see. I'm glad we're going to be here for a few days. I hope I don't accidentally burn any of the kids.
Well, okay, so what you can do if we're around the kids is you can stay in the lantern,
Hmm.
and that way you won't burn any of them. And then when we're not around the kids, you can just hang out.
Yeah, the lantern is really comfy.
Yeah, I think I'm going to teach them art while I'm here. So you can hang out on the lantern then, and then when we're not doing that, we can just hang out and explore.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
I don't think we can give you a bigger lantern because that would just take up more space. I need to work out a way that you won't burn anybody.
I'll work on keeping my distance for now and enjoying the lantern.
And I'll figure out the solution.
Oh, that's so great. And in that moment, Lavender, you see a beautiful shooting star rocket across the sky. Lavender, what do you wish for?
Family.
And with that, we settle in for the night. Bring our journey to a close. Thank you all for joining us on this beautiful journey of A Season's Oath. It has been wonderful gathering you all together. I am Okami. I have been your guide and will continue to be your guide for the next couple of weeks. You can find me at khokami.hio all over the internet. I am a game designer. I am a AP performer. And all you got to do is look me up on Blue Sky to find out all of the things. But I am going to spotlight my players. So travelers, please, once again, tell folks who you are and where they can find you. And, for levity's sake, just one or two projects that you're doing. I will popcorn it over to Theozander.
Thanks, Hector. Yes, Logan, I've been playing Theozander. You can find me at breathingstories.itch.io and at Breathing Stories on Blue Sky. As for what I'm involved here, obviously, which I'm very excited playing Theozander, and we'll be back this chapter. And if you look at my Blue Sky, there's a Not Safe for Work game about being trans and really enjoying that. So that's coming to backer kit in the next week. It's a group collab with All Trans Mask team, and we're bringing the game to print as a zine and as a deck of cards, a bespoke deck of cards. So really excited for that, printing that. So yes, all the details are pinned on my Blue Sky. So check that out. That'll be great. And I'll pass over to Mel, Baba Yaga.
Cool beans. I'm Baba Yaga. I will continue to be. I played Mel today, and I love her so much. You can find me on Blue Sky at babayaga.quest, and I'm going to be a couple different places over the summer. But you can find me every other Friday right now over on Pantsless Tables, playing The Walking Dead, which is super duper fun. I play a fisherwoman on The Walking Dead. And I'm popcorning over to Janie, of course.
Hi, I'm Janie. I play Lavender, and I'm in this project. I have a one-shot coming up on another channel, but I can tell you more about that next week because it's not this week. So this week I'm here.
Yeah. All right. So, as I said before, thank you so much. We're going to be here next week, same Wanderhome time, same Wanderhome channel. Please, keep an eye out. Please support all of my amazing travelers. Also, for those of you who are interested in possibly joining the journey, both Pantsless Tables and soon, hopefully in about a day or so, it might be out now, Nerds with Dice both have casting calls out for their Pride events, and I will be running a Season's Oath interludes for both of those events raising charity. So if you want an opportunity to join us in this beautiful world, please, by all means, sign up, especially if you are LGBTQ or BIPOC. I want to spread as much love in our version of Haeth as we can. Otherwise, please take care of yourself. There's a lot of difficulties in the world right now, but drink water, take your medicine, and be kind to yourself and to others. Have a beautiful night.
Bye.